It's Perp back with another video, and just got done watching the new AMC series called NOS4A2, and man, this has caught my interest. After looking more into this series, I didn't know this was a Stephen King creation like that, or I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. But there's some things I've seen in this that gave me some Easter eggs of some Stephen King properties, and I'll get to that as soon as I get into this review. But pretty much, you know, this is a very different type of horror, different type of vampire story. So we're introduced to this character named Danny, and he's woken up by his mom getting her cheeks busted, which I found very hilarious and entertaining. That was pretty interesting. So he ends up going outside, finds this candy cane, and I'm like, why the fuck is there a candy cane? This is really creepy. There's this random ass car with the door open, like a bait car, filled with gifts. It has this like Christmas theme to it, which is really interesting. So Danny gets in the car, and then his parents get killed, you know, and he gets pretty much kidnapped by this old dude, our main villain pretty much of this story. I'm pretty sure he's a vampire, but a very different vampire. Then we get introduced to our main character, Vic McQueen, and I really like the actress that's playing this character. She's very, you know, to herself, very isolated. She has some trouble at home, you know, but I'll get to that a little bit later in this review. But pretty much, I like the vibe I'm getting from this character. Also, we get introduced to another character, and her name is Maggie. And Maggie's very interesting because she has a connection to this character Danny that we got introduced to in the beginning of this episode. Somewhat. I'm drawing a blank on what that is, but you know, she had a connection. She was there at the site, at the crime scene. You know, she seen the dead bodies and whatnot. But she's a very interesting character too. So, you know, back to Vic, and you know, she storms off on her bike, and she, you know, sees this bridge, and this instantly starts triggering this old dude. And I think this old dude goes by the name of Charlie, if I'm not mistaken. So he's kind of acting weird. Maggie's still trying to find out what happened with Danny, and it seems like she is kind of a witch, or just has some type of supernatural abilities to be able to like see or perceive the future or something like that, because she plays around with these Scrabble words and it gives her a clue to Rafe. So she goes to the sheriff's department, you know, where her pops works, and tries to help out, or tries to, you know, get some information. And in typical fashion, the pops is like let us handle it. It has nothing to do with you, stay out of it kind of deal. Then we get a little bit more dialogue of, you know, this dude Charlie talking to Danny, and you start to see him slowly get younger, and Danny start to get a little sick looking. I'll get back to that very shortly. Now Vic goes to visit some old friends she hasn't seen in a while. You know, shit starts to kind of go left. It gets kind of awkward, you know, and it just seems like there's just certain people that don't understand what's going on with her personally, and you know, she's not really, and this is the reason why she kind of keeps herself distanced, because people, like, she seems like she's being judged, and she has this really close connection to her father, but she knows her father is just up to just no good, but wants to, you know, keep her family together, and ends up just always blowing up and ends up in an argument, the same thing. And then she starts to storm off, you know, because she's stressed out and she's tired of the fighting. And she ends up going to the other side of this bridge that she found earlier in the episode. And shit just gets really fucking weird. She starts to get like what looks like fucking pink eye, which is really weird. It's sort of like she went into an alternate universe, or just like some type of, yeah, it seemed like a alternate universe. So it really intrigued me. This is where things started to pick up for me, at least. Start getting really interested in it. I have this theory about this dude Charlie, that he just uses children's youth as his power, and that's why he's getting younger. Now I mentioned, I don't know if this is connected to a Stephen King universe or nothing, because it says, if you look at this map that's shown in this episode, it says there's a place called Pennywise's Circus, which is really crazy. Now, let me know in the comments below if this is connected in any certain sort of way to a Stephen King universe or something like that. But it's really interesting to see how this dude's power works. You start seeing Danny getting sicker and sicker, and just, you know, and the other dude Charlie getting younger and younger and younger. And this has me very interested, man, very interested. So Maggie is trying to find out more of how she can find this Wraith, and the Scrabble thing tells her, oh, look for the Brat, and the Brat being Vic's character. And, you know, it's very interesting stuff, man. Vic wakes up in a sweat. She looks fucking really strung out after going to this place, but finds out that her pops left, and just things are really upsetting her. So she goes off in the middle of the night to go, she went to the bridge again, went at night, you know, saw an alternate version of her father kissing another woman, and it's just, and that's where it ends for her part. But, you know, overall, you know, I thought this was a really good episode, a good setup episode, especially how this ended with, you know, Charlie. You see Charlie he's completely got his youth back, and Danny's in the back, looks completely all fucked up. But it seems like not only does his power drain his youth or something like that, or he just becomes like his slave or something. I don't know, man. This show has really piqued my interest. Stay tuned for my episode 2 review. Let me know what you think about this episode if you've seen it, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace.
They keep dreaming, man, but you know, sometimes you gotta wake up from a dream and go get it. You get out of it what you put into it. The game is so simple, y'all just ain't listening. If you're chasing your dream, you're not running fast enough. Run faster. You gotta work for greatness, man. You gotta work.